いつも嬉しいね Free your king and be bestowed power to a man unknown. Set him out into the land, power coursing through his hands. Evil seeks to bring us down. The devil doesn't fool around. Evil lies at every door, gnashing teeth you can't ignore. Trials of the sinner's life, living life under someone's knife. Evil seeks to bring us down. The devil doesn't fool around, but the Cardinal, he fights to save the day. No matter the fight, he always musters the light. The Cardinal justice the land.
Contrived like all the deadlines. Eat all the pie, counting down to July. Burn with that pride, all villains ask why. Every villain sucks, you don't say it. Every villain sucks. It's the games that they're playing. Too much is never enough, it's gonna catch you. No, you'll never be cool and you hide. The sun will be the foot too high in the sky. Every villain soon comes to light. Everybody's gonna be surprised. Every villain sucks. You know what I'm saying? Every villain sucks. It's the games that they're playing. Too much is never enough, it's gonna catch you. Every villain sucks. You know what I'm saying? Every villain sucks. It's the games that they're playing. Too much is never enough, it's gonna catch you. Look up in the sky. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a freaking maple tree. No good tree will stand if it's evil to the land. Canadian shield, Canadian shield. Slow down. Drifting deep in space, beyond galaxies, past the stars, the tree spirals on until Melvin sets his sights like a fire in the night. Melvin shoots the trees he finds in space. Space lumberjack with lasers, Melvin shoots the trees. Canadian shield, Cyclopean sees you, Melvin. Cyclopean sees you too. That's all. Save the trees, spare the bees, have mercy on these.
He's an alien from outer space. He crashed to Earth and he's here to stay. He's here to make all the wicked pay. Every bad guy fears his name, the great Cyclopean. The one-eyed guy with the sharpest mind. The hero with the fingers always spouting signs. A rising star with a blinding shine. Give him a chance, he's gonna
Native American. Super suited superhero with a heart for Jesus. Canadian shield, he's the rock in the field of grass. Canadian shield, he's the foot for the kick in the... Asteroids are falling, the shield will get 'em all.
Evil lurks throughout the land. It's eating at the common man. The darkness seeks to pull you down. Push your line into the ground. What's wrong is right, what's right is wrong. You know the truth, so keep it strong until the final battle comes. Brother, we're the only ones. Titans rise to crush the demons. Justice is back in season. Rise to crush the villains. Justice is back in season. Titans rise, crush the wicked. Justice is back in season. Titans rise, crush the wicked. Justice is back in season. Captain or a leader of the team. Thunder fist, the secret in the shadows. Vulcan spear than any bullet. Moonstar, the mind is deeper than the will. Titans rise to crush the demons. Justice is back in season. Rise to crush the villains. Justice is back in season. Titans rise, crush the wicked. Justice is back in season. Titans rise, crush the wicked. Justice is back in season.
A trio came and they bestowed power to a man unknown. Sent him out into the land, power coursing through his hands. Ra-ru-dee-dee-dee-da, pickety-wire, ticky-tacky, toshi-weenie, why the mountain?
Why the mountain? Escape, escape and thrive. Escape, escape and thrive. Just a kid with lots of years, lots of laughter, lots of tears. Bodies age while spirits rage. Every issue's another cage. Escape from a world without heroes. Escape, bring your vision to the light. Escape, be inspired by your heroes. Escape, be the hero of your mind. I'm just a man with lots of time. Sometimes in life you just go blind. You've got to have a place to go, far away from what you know. Escape. Sometimes in life you just go blind. You've got to have a place to go, far away from what you know. Escape from a world without heroes. Escape, bring your vision to the light. Escape, be inspired by your heroes. Escape, be the hero of your mind. I'm living a life so I can dream. All that's dirty can be cleaned. You've got to have the nerve to rise. Look the madman in the eyes. Coward not, lift up your head. You are not the living dead. To your feet and don't back down. Stop looking lost if you are found.
Previously, on the Mighty Mascots.
The fearless robot Boom found himself in dire straits after a bullet struck him during a fierce battle with Lana Lennon in issue 6. The impact compromised his targeting system, throwing his precision and control into disarray. Suddenly, a new threat emerged. With no time to waste, Boom makes the decision to have the bullet removed and take his chances with the glitch in his personality matrix. Boom's transformation has set the stage for an epic new chapter, and the story continues in Mighty Mascots Issue 10. Issue 10 is a triple-sized anniversary extravaganza, featuring all new content by the same great creative team you know and love. Dive into a thrilling news story and enjoy 2 exciting backup tales by DC Miller and the Ogle brothers. Choose from 2 stunning alternate covers that capture the essence of this landmark issue, with artwork by Gazbot and Angry Dad Comics. Plus, we've got incredible new perks, including exclusive 3D printed Breakfast Brawler figures. There are 8 figures available in 4 sets. Buy them all to receive a bonus glow in the Dark Mondo figure. And that's not all. Catch up on back issues, grab limited collectibles, and immerse yourself in the Mighty Mascots universe like never before. Support the Mighty Mascots Issue 10 on Indiegogo and be a part of this groundbreaking journey.
Here time, jump in, Native American, super suited, superhero, with a heart for Jesus. Canadian shield, he's the rock in the field of grass. Canadian shield, he's a foot for the kick in the... Asteroids are falling, the shield will get him all. Asteroids are falling, the shield will get him all.
Trio came and they bestowed power to a man unknown, sent him out into the land, power coursing through his hands. Ra-ro-dee-dee-dee-da, pick-it-it-wire, tiki-taki-toshi-winnie, why the mountain?
Why the mountain?
Clearing streams in stables cold and gray, shadows dance while horses softly neigh. He tells the creatures in the barn each night that one day he'll wear armor shining bright. From dawn to dusk he works with honest hand, feeding mares and working on the land. But he has his heart set on the table round, to join the knights who bravely serve the crown. With a sword and shield he'll join the fight, prove his worth before it's Christmas night. He'll show them all as he sets out on his quest, a gift to himself, a night before Christmas.
got no pickup or puppy dog, just got my weapons and fatigues on. I got a crazy look and an amazing book, but don't scramble my eggs, country Melvin. Don't shave my damn legs, country Melvin. Don't get in the way, a country Melvin. A pew pew and punch two, pew pew and punch two.
You should know that a man with the power of nature can bring you to the end of your life. And you should know by my stride and the look in my eyes that you're about to be massively forced to give up. Chicken attack, chicken attack. Watch your back before it face the black. They may look harmless but them can more chicken ass. Go chicken go, go chicken go. Now gonna fly, you on the sky. With the power of nature, you're never alone, and you can't let even on a mark. Every beast, every tree follows me to the end, and you're about to be massively stuck. Chicken attack, chicken attack. Watch your back before it face the black. They may look harmless, but them can more chicken ass. Go chicken go, go chicken go. Now gonna fly, you on the sky. You are young and you are hungry, perhaps short on money. I give you this chicken today. It's eggs for your dinner, it's legs for next winter. You won't have to steal again. Go chicken go, go chicken go. Now gonna fly, you on the sky.
We are the world, and we are challengers. Canadian shield should be in our nations, killing all the evil trees. Stop the evil trees. Canadian shield, the envy of the world.
Canadian
mercy on these.
A trio came and they bestowed power to a man unknown, sent him out into the land, power coursing through his hands. Ra-ro-dee-dee-dee-da, pick-a-dee wire, ticky-tacky, toshi-winnie, why the mountain?
Oh, dee-dee-dee-da-doo. Got it, wire, ticky-tacky, toshi-winnie, why the mountain?
Hello.
Hello.
Whoa.
Whoa.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome everybody who's in the chat room. So what's shaking, Bacon?
We're what? Up to 116. I don't know how many pages we're at now, but
We're up to a lot of pages. My eyes are like bleeding from reading it so many times. But it's a really good story. Actually, it's an awesome story. I think that your audience, your readers who purchase this masterpiece will be pleasantly surprised with how different it is. It's very different from their usual stuff, which I kind of like. Not that I don't love the Great Cyclopean, of course I do. I'm just saying it's just really different.
it's a different flavor. The book
And
is
it's more
definitely mature,
yeah,
but by mature I don't mean immature.
right.
The overarching story is one of spirituality. It's one of emotional, mental, and physical growth
Mm-hmm.
over the course of generations.
A long
And
time.
it deals really with a family that stumbles and has to pick itself back up.
Mm-hmm.
And the fate of the world is in the balance.
Right.
Uh,
And it's got a very strong Catholic influence. And so
it does, but without being Catholic per se. In other words,
right.
I myself am not Catholic, so it's not like you're going to get. This isn't like recruitment propaganda, you know. Like
No, not even close.
This is the closest, the biggest thing I am kind of grateful for is that Eric is Catholic.
Yes.
And so is Tony, who's read it a few times to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
So there are Catholics who can at least bounce their opinions off of me or back at me, you know.
Dude, what are you doing?
Yeah. We never do that.
Yeah.
But there are some things that come out naturally. There's dialogue at one point where one of the characters is kind of courting a lady, and he asks if she's going to church on Sunday, and she acknowledges she is, but she kind of corrects him without correcting him and says, yes, I go to mass every Sunday, because that's like a little subtle difference. Protestants would say they're going to church, Catholics would say they're going to mass, which is a different understanding for, you know, either side. There's cool things like that come out that I appreciate as the writer of the story. I'm glad they're talking about it because you know, the story is told by the characters. I'm just there to document it.
Right. I think it's funny that you know.
I love to claim that. Yeah, I'm just watching it. I don't know what's going to happen next. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It is true to the extent that the way I tell stories is so flexible that it has changed in certain respects as we went from point A to point B.
Okay.
You know? I'm not familiar with the Shroud, but I wouldn't doubt it. I'm sure there are plenty of generational characters, but much like the Great Cyclopean, I do believe that the Cardinal of Justice have earmarks of completely original concepts. Like I don't know anybody who's been bitten by a blood-drenched cross yet.
No. God, no.
And I hate to bring it down to something that simple, but that's one of the major original aspects of this story.
It's so funny. Yeah. It's funny that you had to say that. But the one thing that I thought was kind of interesting, we had posted posted it at, a couple of different websites, and somebody wanted to know if it was, what did they say? Oh my God, now.
Well, didn't they reference the
does he have a little boy or something crazy like that? Like,
well,
no,
they were making a veiled reference to the issues of the priests and
the Catholic religion and stuff like that.
The church, right?
Right. It
And
was kind of like,
in this graphic novel, we don't actually tackle that, but people need to understand.
Right.
The Cardinal starts in the 1400s, and over that time, there are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of stories to be told.
Right.
Just not all told in this graphic novel. I know one of the things that I think Eric and I are going to be talking about is some of the possibilities of branching out and writing some really great stuff. Tank brother, what's up, man? It's Tank Ferry. I haven't seen him.
Hey. Wow. Hello. Yeah. Hello. That's kind of cool.
It is. But now I lost my track. Pick it up for me, girl.
We were just talking that you and Eric are going to get some sort of yeah. There you go. You got it now?
Yeah.
Is it in your little brain?
I'm sorry. I'm easily distracted.
Distracted?
But I am very excited about the future. Now, the Cyclopean story has 3 more issues basically to finish the story arc. So those are coming next. And then there are plans in the works for what happens after that. But if we make, the Cardinal of Justice a huge success,
right,
attention will be focused appropriately.
True. That is true. Very true.
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of funny because in the last campaign, I said, maybe people want Batman.
Now, Batman?
I said that, remember, in the promo?
Oh, yeah. You did say that. That was funny.
Now, the Cardinal is about as close as I've ever gotten to Batman. And so it will be interesting. He, while being supernatural, he has a very street level sense to him. He's, he's violent. He fights with hands, knives, and lots of blood. In fact, I think that's been the most fun of this because while I don't draw, I don't know how to put this. It wouldn't get me like a rated M rating, but the violence would definitely get me rated R.
Right.
If this was a movie. You know what I mean? I don't think it's not horrid enough that it would even reach like I don't know, what's the grossest movie you can think of? Maybe that Centipede movie.
Yeah,
it's not that gross. Yeah, it's not that gross.
Okay.
It's more like your, I don't want to say typical, but it's more like your sword and gunplay type movie, and modern warfare and ancient warfare. It's really
what?
Well, that's the coolest part. I'm thinking about the next trailer, the one that I really want to push on.
Yeah.
And like, where do we focus? Do we focus with the 1400s? Do we look at like the World War I? Do we look at World War II? Do we look at the Desert Storm War? Do we look at the stuff that happens in the 2000s? Like on a trailer, we can really bounce along the timeline. It's just, where do we go with it?
Huh.
We have the one that you're using for the sign up, but I sure wouldn't mind having another one to throw out at the world. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But I have a dog wrapped around my feet, this little urchin, and she won't leave me alone. I'm so sorry. So I keep looking down at her because she's bumping my feet. You know which one I'm talking about. That would
Do you have any pepper spray?
No, stop it. Oh my God. My God.
I find that works great.
I can't with you.
No, you wouldn't do it with me, but with the dog, maybe. I mean, it works.
No, I do. I might do it with you. So
Yeah, a little
so
bit. You know,
you were talking about the Cardinal. You were trying to, I think, give a synopsis of the story. Correct?
well, I'm
Is that-
giving little hints at it, but
Yeah.
basically, I've got to learn to promote it. Because we all know how well I promote. The Great Cyclopean is a huge testimony to my
Right.
lack of skill promoting. So I have to get, I don't know. I think I have to get more confident. I'm a very humble guy. Like, I don't usually take compliments the best. I just deflect them, not because I don't
True.
appreciate them, but because I don't know what's the value in it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I think there is value because it adds clout to other people looking at your stuff. Good evening, Rick.
Hey, good
Hi,
evening.
Rick.
Look at that t-shirt, brother. You're looking
Yeah.
good. You're
Yeah.
sexy tonight.
Whoa. I like it.
I got all this week. I've gotten I think all my clothes back
Oh, good. That's always
out
helpful.
of storage, and
Nice.
I came across this while hanging them all up, and I figured I should wear this tonight if I come on.
It's
Oh, yeah. That's awesome, buddy.
By the
I
way,
love
man.
it.
Hail,
Oh,
Captain
but-
Mora.
I was gonna say something to your trailer. I think you should focus on the generational thing. Say
Yes.
generational heroes. So show multiple
Yeah, multiple.
versions of
Yeah.
them throughout the ages.
Yep. And
And
there's
then you
something
say it's
like
all
that going in-
culminating in the present. I think that's eventually it leads to the present of whatever's happening in modern day or whatever, however you want to say it.
It's actually kind of cool because it's going to lead right up back into Cyclopean.
Yeah.
Because the Cardinal's already been in Cyclopean for a couple of issues now. But nobody knows his origin until the graphic novel, which, oh
Yeah.
Lord, I'm so excited. Things have come together like as we go through the story, little pieces have fallen into place. A couple of things have shattered away, broken off, which is good, but I really like the pacing. And one of the things that I'm finding, and I don't know as a writer how much you'll be able to appreciate this, but it's the spacing and building of relationships that matters in a book like this. So like you've got to build up your characters enough so that if you're going to kill them, it has to matter to the reader. They have to care, but you can't oversaturate it or else like your climax is somewhere in the middle and not at the end. You got to be like, you got to balance it. And it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome crazy, but it's crazy.
For sure.
And you know what I hate most of all now?
What?
Establishing shots. Oh, look, it's a building where they're meeting. Oh, look, it's a street where they're marching. Oh, look, it's a church where he's going to pray. Like there's all these. You have to show the setup.
You have been working on this for how many months now? This is probably one of the longest.
It's been about 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, with 116 pages, I think it's even longer than Trolls.
It's going to be for me at least, because remember,
Yeah,
you and Chris have
Trolls.
participated, and there were a couple of pinups from other people, and
Right.
so for me, this is huge, and it's all black and white, so it's different in that I've been able to really pour it into the art. Like there's no color to save the day. There's no way to hide a bad figure. I have to work on that figure till it looks good. It's just, if I could turn that guy into just dark blue, he'd fade right into the background, but nope, can't do it. It's the color tricks missing that make it a challenge, but it also makes it more beautiful in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Well, I think the art is amazing, but I'm very biased, obviously.
Well, I have to say it is amazing.
Some pages of it, so
there's times when I literally I get up at night or in the morning or whenever I'm waking up and I sit down and I look at what I've set before and I get ready to go into what I'm about to do and I'm like, whoa, I got to go back and look at that. What the heck is that? And I'm like, why I did that? That's so cool. It's just, there are things that are coming out, and it really, it's just a matter of, because I've been doing it now for what? It's 2025. When did we start? 2017?
Yes, you're talking in general.
Yeah, so
when we
about
started
getting
yeah.
back into comics.
I'm like, wait a second, you did not stop that. Like we're
You
talking
didn't
about
start Cardinal back in 2017.
That's what I was thinking, Rick. Didn't
Yeah,
you?
no,
Like
no.
all of a sudden, I'm like, what? Where did we go? We
But
kind
what I
of
mean is,
over
like,
there.
I'm starting to get to that level where some of the things are coming without thought. You know what I mean? It's a natural. How do you make this panel look more dynamic? How do you, is this shot really doing the story justice, or is it just?
Yeah,
is it
you've
just
gone
me
and switched
having,
some things out already.
I've had to, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think, in hindsight, from when you first began, like you were flying these books out, and now we look at them, we're like, oh dear, I can't believe we did that. It's like now you're taking your time, which.
Well, actually, I always thought I was. To be clear, every single book I've put out for the last 3 years, I've thought was my best book. And actually, I think each one was my best book at the time.
Yeah, because you're up in your game.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm done. Like, because then I turn around and I look at something like from Dillard, or I look at what some of the new artists coming up, or I just look at some of the classics, and I feel that fire, that like, yeah, there's another level at least. I can get to the next level, right? And that's how I do it. It's almost like jogging. When you get to like that like limit where you're like at, I don't know, say you're doing a 5-mile jog, you're at 4.5 miles, you're like, I could quit now. I got most of it done. But then you push into that last half a mile. That it's kind of like that. When you get to that point where you're like,
or you want to be, I'm not sure whether you've seen it. I think it was on Twitter that I saw it. A clip of this guy who was on this treadmill jogging for 24 hours straight.
Oh my gosh.
why would anybody do that?
I don't know. I'm just saying I saw it.
The heck would they do that for?
Maybe he was powering, like, maybe it was, I know what it was, I bet.
What?
It was probably during a blackout, and he was powering a hotel or a hospital's energy.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but, you figured they would trade people out, but this guy did.
Oh, snap. Yeah. Why didn't they give him a break, those bums? It's probably because it wasn't really for a hospital then.
Yeah. This guy, for whatever reason, I don't know if I didn't listen to it, but I watched like 30 seconds of it. They show the different time changing, or whatever. I think like I said, I'm not sure whether it was on Twitter or Facebook.
So this is one of the gifts I got for Christmas.
Oh, the world's smallest violin for you to play?
Yep.
Although it looks more like a cello.
It is, yes. That is a joke because
actually though, yeah, that's one of my favorite little
joke, Hey, you know what this is?
This is like hooked up, I think, to like probably 2 little watch batteries, probably 3. It's probably got like 3.
You can actually, it actually's got sound to it.
You couldn't hear it?
No, I can't hear it.
Hang on.
I don't hear anything.
You're not hearing it, huh?
Oh,
yeah.
I heard something.
You can hear it. Yeah. You can hear it. That's funny though.
Every so often I hear something for like a second.
It's like a little squeak. It's nothing big. It's not like a real violin or anything.
Great
like
live though. Like you can pull this out of your pocket.
Yeah, I did get him that. I got him that because he used to always do that to me. He would always rub his fingers together and say, "What's that?"
But I thought this would be cool for the channel, but you can't hear it.
I am playing for you.
So what else is happening? Diana, when are you? So this week, by next week's show, we should be launched, right?
That is the game plan.
Okay. Diana's funny because I'm trying to give her all the rope in the world to set these 2 campaigns up herself.
Hang me.
So she says to me, she says, I need some artwork to put up on the pages.
He doesn't understand though. I don't
And
have.
say, you've got like 116 pages. I just sent you another proof. You've got a folder full of promotional art that you've asked for, including the weird like bright primary color thing in the background here.
Right.
She's got all these graphics and she's like, I don't know what to use. And I'm like, oh God. So I tried to tell her pick out like 5 to 6 pages, I said 4 to 5, but 5 to 6 that she likes, that kind of
lay down.
The sequence.
Go lay down.
Yeah. Put in.
I think you could put it 2
then
up
you could
on
probably crop or cut a piece out of a page here and there.
Yeah, just to show like a highlight, some good art.
Yeah.
And you can even do like a full page, there's like spreads and stuff, but those I prefer to shrink down a little bit. Mostly because digital art can look terrible if you zoom in. If you're looking at it the way, at the size it's intended, it's a lot better usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick, was that, I don't remember, was that a stretch goal or did you buy that shirt?
I won it, I believe.
Oh, how about that?
One of the things that you had for one of the campaigns, when you opened up,
Sorry, guys. I'm just yelling at my old lady dog.
Have you tried the pepper spray yet?
No.
Why?
No.
Well, then use the salt shaker. She likes that too.
Honey.
Yes, you need to assault her.
No. She's she's a little old lady and she wants to sit on me. She wants to sit on me. She can't be sitting in a little bed.
So ketchup
She
and
wants to
mustard.
sit on it.
Or if you get out a sub roll and you tell her to hop in, Hottie. You say, come here, Hottie. Come on, hot dog. Get in here.
Those are so bad.
She'll run away from you.
Stop it. Stop it.
I tease them. I tease both our dogs. And I remind them that Tiny is just, an afternoon delight. And Chewy is like a breakfast and a dinner. You could just stretch that dog out for at least a whole day. Yep. Yuck. God, I hope I never have to eat my dogs.
Well, that's a hot dog that you wouldn't want to eat.
Yeah. But the dogs know when I'm talking about it because they look at me funny. They're like, well, you think we're not going to eat you in your sleep? I'm going to eat you first.
He's so bad, though.
Well,
Really.
I have a special relationship with my animals, so that's not like they don't think I want to eat them. They know I don't. Don't make me eat. Yeah, don't make me eat them, Diana.
I'm trying not to.
Don't make me eat them, yeah.
Don't make me eat the dogs.
No, but she's such a little picklehead. Like, instead of just like the other dog is sleeping on her bed, just kind of dozing. And my chihuahua, my little old lady, is like prancing around my feet. She's got a bed too. Now she finally went to lay down because she knows I'm not picking her up. But that's what I was listening to. Stop it. I'm trying to focus on the conversation and answer people in the chat. And
well, anybody who's been
around stop it.
A little bit knows Tiny's cry. She sounds like a little girl if we let her get going. And so I know what Diana's doing. She's trying to preempt it. Like, you can look at her and go, no, don't do it. Don't do it. And she'll stop.
Yeah.
But if you ignore her, it gets a little louder, and then it goes.
Yeah.
So
Diana,
what's going on, man? What else has happened? Oh, look.
I was
We haven't seen this brother in 2 weeks.
How's it going?
All right. And did you see the mashup?
Yeah, I did. I saw it.
Yeah, I sent him a
played
link
it.
to it when you put it up by itself.
I kind of almost want to have it like a tree that's been thrown out. It would be kind of a nod to that. By the way, that is that great Cyclopean shirt is awesome.
Yeah. Well, here's the name that you could have you make in your thing. Trevel.
Yes, Trevel.
Like
Hey, you know what? I know the animation is super high tech and high quality.
Oh, I know. It was like
Honestly, I had so much fun. I was like, okay, yeah. So the Canadian Shield, he punches the maple trees into space, and then there's Melvin.
Years later.
And I wanted to put my character in because I'm like, I always promote these two with these silly videos. Nope. So Cyclopean sees you both, but that's it because I'm not animated.
That's all.
But I was going to ask Diana, when is the comic festival for Athol?
That is going to be on October 18th. It's a Saturday from 10 to 3.
Okay, that's
this
good.
year. Yeah,
I can't go.
That's a month. That's a month after Comic-Con here in Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was wanting to go to the Christian Comic-Con in LA, but it's the same one of the same days as Hamilton Comic-Con. It's like, yeah, crap.
Right.
So just to talk about the show a moment, Johnny C is hosting the draw off.
Mm-hmm.
The draw off.
And what is that going to be exactly? Are we going to have multiple artists up there trying to draw each other off?
I think so. I'm actually not really sure because
you're going to get competitive juices flowing here.
I know.
Well, I think we'd have to be given the same subject and try each artist draws it.
Yeah, he's setting it up. Honestly, we've asked him to kind of head that up for us, and he said yes. So,
am I allowed to use charcoal?
Huh?
Am I allowed to use charcoal?
I don't know.
Honestly, charcoal drawing on an easel is much easier than marker or any other medium I've used so far.
Okay.
Because you're drawing much larger so that you can be seen by a larger crowd, and it just lends itself to it far better.
Far better.
The only thing I think would work even better are brushes. If it was a painted brush thing.
Yeah, I've done paintbrush on a big canvas before, in an audience, painting, just going over lines with a paintbrush, and that's right. Sort of inking, you would call it. It was for a sort of I'm not sure that I'd call it a skit. Something that I did on a missions trip.
Hey, speaking of inking, I got to tell everybody the world.
What?
Our comic book club was canceled for the second week in a row due to weather.
I know.
Oh, wow.
It's very upsetting because the kids, we have some that are ready to actually do some inking.
Mm-hmm.
I've bought 2 Apple pens that are not Apple pens. They're cheap Chinese knockoffs, but they work just as well in terms of
pear pens.
Yeah, but they're not as pressure sensitive as a real Apple pen.
Right.
But they're good enough to get these kids going on a regular iPad, and I'm so ready to see them go in like 2 weeks in a row. Because of the snow.
This week was good. I was supposed to have some work tomorrow, and it got canceled because of this snowstorm that we're having in this area.
Yeah.
And there was supposed to go to this thing on Wednesdays called the Hub, where they serve a meal and do a Bible study, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And that was canceled tonight because of weather.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. My church was canceled on Sunday because of weather.
Yeah, we've got that storm's, I think, hitting you guys first, and then
well, the weather report here blamed you guys totally. They said it was Canadian air coming down that was making it cold, and at the end of the weather thing, the girl said, "And you can blame Rick because it's his fault." So, thanks, Rick.
You're welcome.
You can blame Rick.
Take back. It's cold here too. It snowed.
It's Wreck It Rick.
No, it snowed at the beginning of the week and it stuck around a little bit. But Idaho's pretty good at clearing the roads before so people can get on to work.
Yeah.
But but now we got this really cold air going through. I mean, like if you were out working, you feel like that chicken that gets mushed up in the back and gets freezer burn.
Shoot, just walking in my car, I'm like, what the heck? That's 30 feet of hell.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I out in this weather?
I was surprised that our district closed so like quickly because nothing's happened yet, and I
I
don't know.
predicted this Sunday when we saw the
You
forecast
did.
that Thursday would have. Actually, they said up to 6 inches.
Mm.
Now I think it's down to 4. But
Mhm.
the real fear for them is the timing of the storm, which is like really in the morning, more or less, and then freezing rain during a normal dismissal,
Yeah, and
which would
that's
make it the
rough.
real jeopardy. Yeah, black ice is detrimental to all people. If you
Yeah.
step on black ice, it hurts. Therefore,
It
they
hurts a
avoid
lot.
black ice.
Yep.
Yeah. I can testify. I twisted my ankle like 6 weeks ago,
Mhm.
which blew my knee out from limping on the knee over the ankle, compensating. And I
God,
think they're
you've been
finally,
there for that week.
dude, I'm old. It's like 55, 56 years old. Your knee like starts to go
Mm.
crazy if you have to use it to favor. It's like, yo, you're overworking me. Plus, I've always had bad knees. Well, not always, but since I hurt them back in my early 20s. So truly,
What'd you
you know,
do?
like back in my 20s or 6 weeks ago, I
Back in your
twisted.
20s.
Oh man, I rolled a truck and like totally messed all sorts of stuff up, including
Oh,
my.
that sounds like it sounds like a long-lasting injury.
It was actually a very spiritual experience. I was driving, so I was doing road construction in Florida, and I was driving these street sweepers that they use to clean up the asphalt or the area about to be they're about to apply asphalt to. Kind of sounds funny because you're just sweeping up dirt and rocks, but they make it as clean as they can before they put that final layer on. And I was driving this sweeper from one end of the job site to the other end so I could get down to the other end to sweep. And I was doing about 30, 35 miles an hour, probably a little fast for this thing that has a high center of gravity. But I went through a serpentine curve and one of the outside tires, the front one, popped and the rim dug into the fresh asphalt underneath and flipped it up and over and threw me into a pond or something. I kind of passed out. But
You didn't get fired, did you?
Oh, that's just passe.
But the spot where I was sitting would have cut me in two the way the roof came down. So I fell out before that came down on top of me. And actually, I didn't fall into a pond. I turned because there was a pond in front of me. And that like made it dig. And that's how I got knocked out. But it was on the side of the road. My cousin was working with me. I remember him talking to me. And I was like, I'm going to be dead. He's like, you're not dead. I'm going to be fired. He said, shut up. And yeah, it changed my life. But the reason I swerved away from the pond was because I had a vision of my little brother standing there who had died when I was 7, and he had died in a drowning. That's why the pond was there.
Oh, whoa. That's heavy.
Yeah, but it was probably, so I'm going to sound stupid here. It was probably all mental, but yeah, it could have been real because my brother, that's not the first time I've sworn that my brother has, made a sign,
Yeah, I think so.
like I remember being in New Hampshire and he was buried in an unmarked grave in this cemetery. And we went in and one of my relatives was showing me where it was. And when we pulled up, there were like 3 deer standing on his grave. And I was like, whoa, man, that's like my brother giving me a sign, even though it was probably all in my head. Nevertheless, I was freaking out. I was like, hallelujah, Jesus is good. I got deer on my brother's grave.
Oh, dear.
Well, does it get any better? Even if it's all in my head, it was such an affirming, happy moment that I was like,
Yeah.
My brother's grave smells like deer pee. Hallelujah.
As the deer standeth
Well,
on
that's
the
kind
grave.
of dark.
So,
Hey, if I was buried in the woods, I would want all the animals to pee on my grave because, let's be neighbors. Welcome home. Here we go.
Oh, by that time you're a warm buffet, so yeah.
Well, yeah, my spirit and my
Won't
soul.
bother you.
Yeah, I mean, Lord, use me as you will. And I don't know if some people will think I'm mocking God. I'm not. I'm just kind of telling it like it is. I wouldn't mind, once I'm.
Well, they say God's got a sense of humor. He did invent the platypus.
There are so many things in life that I look at, and I'm like, yeah, there has to be some humor involved in everything,
God has a sense of humor. He created humans.
The thing I think is funny, Rick, is I don't think this is the first time he's done this. I've been admittedly watching the weird videos, but I would not be surprised. Remember, in the beginning, the Lord hovered over the waters of the earth, right? It doesn't say what happened before or any of that. It's just he's hovering over these waters and he's doing all this terraforming. I'm like, the Lord may have done stuff before us. That may be where the angels came from. That could be all a guess and wrong, but he's been active way before us. The thing that makes us unique, I think, is we're made in his image. And I think the reason the demons want to mess with us so much is they think because we're in his image, they can find his weaknesses, but they don't understand. We're like Xeroxes. It's like trying to understand a brick wall by looking at a Xerox picture of a wall. Good luck. Good luck, guys. We're just made in the image of.
Most of the demons, shall we say, probably met God because they are just fallen angels, and they were, I'd say most of them had been in his presence, if not all of them, before, Lucifer brought them with him in his fall, right? So
supposedly there's a fallen angel that's even worse than Satan.
Well, let's be honest. If I was God, I hate saying this out loud. If a person were to be the worst devil, the worst demon, the worst fallen angel of all, the best thing you could do is make up a guy named Satan and put it all on him, and no one ever know who you are, right? That would be the ultimate shadow government. That would be the way to protect your wickedness. And
isn't Satan just another name for Lucifer?
Well, actually, it's interesting. Yeah, go ahead, Rick.
Satan just technically means adversary.
And Lucifer just means morning star, which blows people's mind.
And I've heard that even Lucifer technically, might not have been his name.
It really wasn't.
Because I remember with Tim might know this person, Halal. Well, actually, you know Halal too, because I did a little bit of studying with him, and we talked about the name Lucifer and all that. And, he was saying, forget what he said, but he made it seem like, the one that helped them rebel wasn't named Lucifer or whatever, or
dude. His name was never Lucifer. That was all a Latin thing. What happened, even to the point where it's become so ingrained, is if you look in the Septuagint, they added Lucifer like to all it means is morning star.
And later Tank.
Oh, later, brother. And Satan really just means, I believe, enemy of God, right?
No, Satan means adversary.
And then there is a Jewish name for that particular angel. I think you've already said it, though. It sounds like Halai, now you're gonna make me want to look it up, but
well, I never said the name. I'm just saying that my friend Halal was saying, and it sort of pointed out
that's the name I was
one
thinking
scripture, because we talked about, and I did some look up about where we got the name from, and I forget. It's been a while. It's been like almost 2 years since I talked to him on this. So, and I'm not sure which episode of us, talking about it came up. So I'm speaking out of my butt right now, based on what I think I remember.
Okay, so hang on, let me show you the one I was looking at.
Sorry, wrong button.
How you doing, man?
Right button. Okay.
Share screen. So this is why I thought you said the name. See how it's the Hebrew name for Lucifer is, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Halal.
Can you get?
I said the name Halal. That was my friend.
Right? Yeah, it was your friend, but that's why I'm like, well, maybe that's the name. Hang on, let's see what.
Strong's H 1966. Eleo.
Haleo. According to an English guy who reads for Strong's. I mean, that's the only thing that cracks me up. I'm listening to a guy translating, and he's like, Haleo. And I'm like, okay, is that like in Hebrew, do they like, Haleo? Like, is there a different, like, does it sound completely different if spoken in Hebrew by a Hebrew speaker? Probably.
Maybe.
Probably. But it's enough to kind of get the idea. It's kind of fascinating because, I mean, I would throw everybody off the trail as much as I could if I was the worst of the worst, you know, the Dr. Doom of the underworld.
Well, see, there's the problem is, if it was up to you, yes, being the Lord of the Underworld, you would try and throw people off into thinking it's somebody else. But you got to remember the author of Scripture is the one who knows all, and he's not into those sort of deceptions.
Unless he's allowed it for a reason that doesn't matter to us at all. Like, doesn't matter to us what Satan's name really is. Like,
yeah,
we should know him by their fruit, right? It's like, dude, you're a wicked, evil manu, and I'm not going that way.
Supposedly, there is an angel called Semyaza who is worse than Lucifer, to the point where he's even doing experiments on making a human-animal hybrid.
I believe that.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I don't know about the
look at Enoch, even though it's not canon, it actually goes into more detail about the rebellion.
It doesn't surprise me because I do believe that angels, fallen ones, tried to do all sorts of nasty things and still do.
Well, I mean, like the fallen angel, supposedly Azazel, taught humans how to make weapons.
Yeah.
And I guess there's these type of angels called Watchers.
Yeah, they didn't. Marvel didn't create those. They kind of assimilated them.
They made a more cosmic sci-fi version of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although spirituality, when sci-fi takes stabs at it, is kind of fun.
It is.
I love watching science and science fiction trying to describe God, because it's like, if you look at something and say, well, obviously the atoms just changed, so naturally the fish multiplied because the cells multiplied and blah, blah, blah. You can describe the science, but you still can't, talk away the power of God. You can't change what happened.
Because all the things that science has, God created.
Right. But I mean, it cracks me up because they try to explain miracles, and it's like, even if your science is accurate, that's just the tool God used to do it. Just because you figured out the wheel goes round and round doesn't mean you know anything about the wheel. You know it goes round and round.
Because it's more like just because you figured out how it happened doesn't mean you can duplicate it.
That too, bro.
And unless you can duplicate it, probably not a miracle. It's probably a miracle.
Even then, though, like, remember, Moses dealt with the Egyptian dudes there that were copying all his miracles, but
they could only do it up to a point. I think they only got up to during the river to blood themselves, But we do got to remember when Moses threw down his staff, and it turned to a snake, and they did the same thing. Moses' staff ate their staff.
Yeah.
They didn't have any staff in the end.
The wicked can mimic what we would think of as like, oh, that's got to be God. Sometimes it's just something wicked playing a trick, doing their thing.
Yeah.
But if you know their nature, like, I always think of the classic, like, if I meet an angel and he's really smooth and he's really nice, and I don't know, he feeds me and gives me a couple of $1,000, says, tonight when you go home to your wife, take care of her, make sure she's happy. Oh, wow, you're really nice, Mr. Angel. He goes, yeah, but now let's go down to the topless bar and hang out for a couple hours before you go home. Oh, wait, that's kind of a red flag. I kind of get a clue. You may not be an angel of God. Now we got to talk. You know what I mean? Like, what do you know about Jesus, Mr. Angel? Because you'll know them by their fruits. There's certain things, I think.
Yeah. But then again, most likely, if we're going to see an angel like that, we're not going to know it's an angel because, the Bible does talk about us entertaining angels unaware.
You can always tell because there's 3 things. They got a halo and 2 wings. If you see those things, Rick, man, that's them. Especially the halo. Did you ever hear our halo story?
That's a Western influence that the Bible never describes them as having wings. That is still pretty.
It doesn't describe them as having halos either.
No, the halo story is kind of funny though. When Diana and I got together, when we first got married, our first Christmas, she put out a bunch of angels. And me being the purist that I thought I was, I got pissy and I turned all the angels' faces away from us. So they all faced the wall. And she said, why? And I said, it's in response to that stupid stuff on these stupid angels. And I went to work and I come back and all the angels are turned back around and all their wings are gone. And I said, what happened to these things? And she's like, I took them off because you said they were not of the Bible. I said, I'm talking about the halos. She left the halos on and took off the wings because she was confused about what I was upset about. But the halos were the thing that I didn't like. I was like, nope, I don't do halos in my house. They're going to have to turn around and look at the wall. But she clipped their wings because she was like trying to please me. I'm like, oh my God, she's so sweet. But I should have been very clear.
She said, hello, and then you went, goodbye, wings.
Yeah, because she was confused about what I was upset about. But really, the halo and the sun god stuff just has always been a thorn in my side when I see halos. Even though I put halos on the angels in the Cardinal in a scene, they kind of have a halo thing because of the light. What's that? Oh, she must be talking to an animal.
Yep, an animal down here staring at me.
Which one, Brave?
Yeah, an animal. It would be a small little thing.
I have Belle this evening. She's my co-host. She's off to the left, sleeping on my leather chair.
Yeah.
I don't see Brave, but I'm sure he's down there with Tiny and Chewy.
I haven't seen him either, and that's okay.
Oh, and because you can't really see with the square, Canadian Shield's got his elbow finally as well.
Oh,
I honestly myself don't find
hey, Outcast,
or have an issue with
what's up,
angels
brother?
having halos because I know I've read the Bible. I know they're not in that's not in there, but I get that those are supposed to be angels.
I had this bout, and it's kind of ironic that the book I'm finishing up now is so heavily tied to Catholicism. Because you can ask Diana, there was a time where I was like, Catholicism is bad. Catholicism, bad. And like
they follow the same God, but
yeah, and she was raised Catholic, even though she technically had left the Catholic Church and gone Protestant. But so much of it, like, we went to a Catholic mass with her family, and I was like so critical, and I should have kept my mouth shut. But I was like,
very young.
But they had like the wrong verse with the wrong. Remember that, honey? They had the wrong verse with the wrong window.
According to you.
No, it was totally wrong. And I went and explained it to them, and they were
to the priest, to the Catholic priest. He went up after mass. And,
he was very shocked that I even spoke to him, and I'm like, but that's clearly not from the right verse. That's from another verse.
Yep. And I sat there mortified with my family, and they just looked at me. I'm like, who is this freakazoid that you have met? And I'm like, well, just let him.
Apparently, you don't talk to the priest on the way out the church like you do a pastor.
No, not typically.
If I'm at a Protestant church and I'm going out, I can be like, yo, brother, you said 1 John such and such said this, but really it says this. Unless you're using that bastardization of translation.
You can't talk to the Catholic priest after service?
Well, you can. But the way you can. You definitely can.
Unless you're Catholic. No, only Catholics can. The unwashed and unworthy. He was like, you did not take communion. You are not one of us. Nothing you say has value.
He turned German all of a sudden?
Yeah, he turned German. He was German. And he was like, I will beat you down, you Protestant little man.
You Protestant dog.
Yeah, well, not all Protestants. Remember, you got to remember too, though. Not all Protestants have the preacher at the door going out. You can go to the front and usually afterwards and talk to him, but sometimes there can be a lineup too.
It's true.
I usually go to churches though where the pastors are trying to tackle you on the way out. Wait, slow down. We got coffee and donuts downstairs. Don't leave yet.
As a kid growing up Lutheran, that was the best part about getting out of church service.
Was tackling the pastor or going for the snacks downstairs?
Snacks downstairs, fool.
Absolutely.
You guys are funny.
Hey, it's true, girl.
I don't even know. Like I don't even know how you got here.
Well, my father romanced my mother for a little while. Then I got married, and
you guys just
he was born ready.
Oh my
Got out of
gosh!
his daddy's nuts
already.
there was a little controversy because, from what I understand, they were only married 7 months when I was born. They was only married 7 months when I came into this planet.
How do
So
you
you're
know?
premature.
Yeah.
Speculation from many in the family was that they might have consummated a little prematurely.
Oh.
I don't know. I wasn't there. Well, I was, but I wasn't.
Chris,
But you weren't there right away, but you could have been there shortly thereafter.
Well, if I'm holding to the belief that we
How
are
are you, Diana?
on conception, if we are created at
I
conception,
was doing really good, but you notice I haven't said much because Chris is just on this like diarrhea of the mouth thing. I don't know where he's at. I don't know what he's talking about.
I have
We were
not
talking about the
one
cardinal, and then the
thing.
next thing I know, there was Satan. I'm like, okay, well, these guys are
we are
gonna
just talking about religious issues.
Mhm.
But
It seems random for me, and I have ADHD.
You're there at conception, but conception doesn't usually take place till a couple days later, Chris, usually.
Not with my father's genes. They were very powerful. The second that our genes got...
Now, why are we talking about this? Hi,
Because
Outcast.
Rick is Canadian and he needs to understand.
I'm not sure what you're pretending to be a plumber with, but it's got to be like entertaining just to listen to Chris go off on. I don't even know what he's talking about now. He's talking about his conception, I think.
I'm talking about evil trees in the Canadian Shield.
What?
You're talking about Trevel?
Trevel.
What is Trevel?
There's Trevel in the
evil
world, and the Canadian Shield takes
evil?
care of it.
Mhm.
Did you notice in the mashup the tree
married him.
is in the
Give him
middle of
that.
the road? That's why Canadian Shield must take it out because it's
With an
blocking
uppercut?
traffic. Yeah, 'cause it's blocking traffic, so he's got to take it out. It's Trevel. How dare a tree block traffic in a dirt road? Can you
I
tell
don't
that
really know how
In the middle
to.
of nowhere.
in the middle of nowhere? By goodness, what if a car had come along?
Chris, what do you? I don't understand.
There are no cars. Where we're
In the
going,
mash-
there are no cars.
Yeah, hang on. I got to show Diana this because apparently she doesn't remember. But watch, I'll show you, honey.
I don't know
So-
if I want to see that.
So if you look, see
That's
the
not
first
middle of the
tree.
road.
That
Yeah.
first tree got it because it was orange and the green, and orange and green is never good. It has to go because it has disease. Now look, it grew back green, and look where it is in the middle of the road. Get out of there. Be gone,
Okay.
tree.
You're just
Trevel.
like silly
Look,
Which
tonight.
one is Trevel? Orange and
Trevel?
green or the green?
Both, but the orange is less evil because it's not its fault that it was mutated.
Oh my gosh.
I even got
believe- I
a
believe what
good.
happened-
I even got a good title. If you ever do one with an actual evil tree, like if I do one with an evil tree, it's going to be in space, but it's going to have one big eye in the middle, and like the roots become tentacles. I'm going to call it pure Trevel.
Oh, look. Melvin was killing orange trees.
Oh man,
Oh,
Oh my gosh, you
4
guys.
of them, 5 of them. I'm counting now.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, and you got that black mark. You missed taking out that black mark at the top.
No, that was high quality editing. It was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
It represents a super missile.
Do you hear him? Do you hear him? Do you see what I deal with day in and day out?
I
It's
hear him
crazy.
trying to make excuses for his mistake.
Yeah, exactly. He is
no,
the biggest
really.
BSer I've ever met in my life.
No, but
This guy
seriously,
can tell stories, and there are times that I'm like, "What did you just say?" Yes, honey. So blah blah blah, whatever it is. I can't. I just
No,
stop.
now seriously, what she's talking about
Don't know
is
what
the
you
time.
said, but I don't believe it.
Well, no, I had gone to Los Angeles. I was in this movie studio school for 2.5 years,
Here it
and she
goes.
was upset because while I was there, I learned how to cook Italian lasagna better than she did.
Because you
And
guys
that's an
listen to
example of BS that she's talking about, because I'll do that to her. That was all fake, but we'll be like at a
You
dinner,
really.
and she'll say, "Oh, they had this lovely knitted sweater at the store. I used to knit sweaters when I was 15 to help pay the bills at the house. My mother used to give me the yarn, and I would knit. And I did that for hours every night." And she'd, "Really? No, not really. I'm lying. I'm joking."
You see, he qualifies it as joking. I'm like, you're downright lying to my face. Oh no, that's a joke.
I
Yeah,
tell
well,
you when it's a joke.
no offense to Hannah, but if you didn't know that he was BSing,
And normally, though, what has
He
to
does it
happen,
all the time, though. It's like
but
he
what
does it
has
so
to
much
happen,
that he's so convincing.
but what has,
yeah,
yes,
but that's because he does it all the time. Should even be more reason for you not to believe him.
Well,
But
Now,
after 20 years of
now,
being with this man,
Diana,
I now figured it out.
Diana, my
But then
dad does
again,
the
I guess
same.
he's your husband, and you just want to
What's
believe
that?
what he
What's that?
says.
My
and
dad
everything.
does the same thing.
Oh my
He used
God.
to tell me growing up that how they made a Thousand Island dressing was people from 1,000 islands would come and they'd stomp on it like grapes, and that's how they made it. And I believed him because he was my dad. Or if you asked what we had, what we can have for dinner, and he says, chicken lips.
that's okay. I lied to my son for the first, I don't know, 5 years of his life, and told him that fish sticks were just chicken sticks. And boy, he was mad when he learned how to read, because he hates eating fish. And I was like, "Oh snap!" He just figured it all out. You could see that little gear, fish, fish stick. And that's not chicken, Dad. I know. I'm sorry,
Isn't he
but
terrible?
no. I usually end up. What has to happen when I'm doing that with Diana is I have to go to outer limits. Like if she's buying my
He
story
is
that
the
I
outer
went to,
limit.
but if she's buying that I went to LA to do a movie school and I was working to learn lasagna, if she's still not figuring it out, then I say something like, "That was right around the time I worked for the Tesla Automotive Group. Yes, I helped design lithium
He
batteries."
keeps adding on to the tall tale until
So
I'm
she
like,
finally goes, "Wait a minute. What do you mean you used
sometimes
to
he
deliver
sounds so
pizza?"
legit. How about the time that you said scratching with the cats? And I was like, he had me totally bamboozled on
I
that.
told her that the reason the cats scratched walls and door jambs and stuff was so they could read it in the dark and know where they were. And she was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, their paws are super sensitive and they can sense like where they are and where they're going." And it's like, she totally bought it. She was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, like the paws smell. They
I
can
had to ask
smell."
my daughter, and Larissa just like said, "Oh my God, Mom, stop!" Just she just walked away. Shaking her head. It was so good. Had like this whole scientific thing behind him. I'm like, you're such a
Oh,
jerk.
poor you.
But the fun is looking at her,
Oh my God.
and you're like, you're just, no, it's because they can sense themselves by the scratch. And you got to do it without laughing, or else it all falls apart. But you do it with that serious voice, that still sound. And
Yeah,
if she's
well,
sitting
yeah.
there buying
I could be wrong, but I don't think he'd be able to get me. I usually
well,
know BS when I hear it.
I've even got myself before though, Rick, because for decades I thought there used to be, at least used to be, a bunny in Europe that was
Oh
laying.
my God, you guys. Oh my
That
God.
was where the Easter egg came from. I was
He
convinced.
is totally serious. He was
Yes,
40
I was
something years
convinced it
old.
was a breed of rabbit that was laying eggs somewhere in Europe, and that was where the Romans got the whole Easter bunny and the eggs in the basket.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
sitting there. It may have even been with a Christian group, but I'm sure Diana was there. And
It was. It was me and Irene. Me and
Yep.
Irene were having tea. She had come over to visit. And we're sitting there. We said what? What are you talking about? Yeah, you know the rabbit. I don't know the name of it. I should probably try to Google it. And Chris is
I don't know the name of the breed, but there's a rabbit that spits eggs out. It's laughing at me, and I'm like, "Y'all ain't funny. This is the
Listen,
truth."
we laugh so hard. We laugh so hard. My to this day, I will never ever let him live that down. I'm
And I
like,
still believe there's got to be a breed out there. They've just erased it from.
yeah, of course. Here he goes. Yeah, there's somebody just messed with it.
It's conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy.
Where's Doge when I need it?
Somebody going to help you. This is they're for government efficiency, not for Christopher ridiculousness.
But he could make me more efficient.
I'm gonna make you efficient, all right, dude. Oh my god.
Actually, I am pretty efficient. It's just I want the world to be more efficient. So if I look at it, it can't lie to me. It has to tell me the truth. And I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this state of the world. You know, it's crazy right now. Hey, look at this.
Well, you guys are better off than we are at the moment, Canada.
Look at that sexy tree.
Did you get that from my eye?
No, I think he just painted it in Photoshop.
Oh, is that Tim? Tim?
Yeah, that's Tim. See the crayon? He used crayons, man.
It looks like he used Twitter's AI.
Chat PT or whatever it is.
No,
Grok.
That's so funny, you guys.
Apple added one to their
What did you say for that giant tree with an eye?
I don't know. He's not talking. Did we lose him? He's
No,
muted.
Yeah.
He muted himself. I didn't do that. He's losing control of his computer. Hang on.
There you go. Yeah, I used I used that
Grok
crayon program. God dang it. Forget it.
Stop messing around, man.
Anyway, I just I wanted to make an evil tree. So I did.
So
what's more evil than a tree with a giant eyeball in it?
So Treevils wobble, but they won't fall down.
Treevil.
Pure Treevil.
Oh man. Treevil women.
I remember a couple years ago I was trying to do my own Groot tree type character. It's coming along pretty good. It's on my other hard drive that I need to hopefully get.
You have one. You threw a Canadian Shield through a tree in space. It comes back as Treevil. The end. No. My name is Groot.
Oh God, I can't.
My name is mentally handicapped. Is what that Groot should say.
I am Grok.
Marvel won't pay any attention to that. Nope. No lawsuit there.
Grok, I am.
Don't be JDA and get nearly and risk getting sued.
I was gonna say, just go to Fund My Comic. They'll fight for you.
No, I understand Luke Stone's position though. I mean, he doesn't.
No, I thought he did the right thing. I like Luke, but like
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, what would Luke do if I like put up a project and it's like, yeah, this is called War Stars, and and that's Dark Raider, and over there
That's
is
Luke. That's Mark Tywalker.
yeah, man, and that's Princess Leia. They can't copyright a name. Fuck them. Oh, excuse me.
That's Princess Bea.
That's Princess.
No, what did okay, what's this? JDA got in trouble or whatever?
He made a series of a little treading the line between copyright infringement and not
Parody?
Very similar. No, but it was very
parody.
similar armor, and the name Space Marine apparently is trademarked. And
Actually, it's not because the sequel to Aliens they had Space Marines.
I just can't imagine it being trademarked. Like that would be like trying to trademark black
Lionsgate?
car. What do you mean black car? Yeah, black car. You can't call your car black anymore because I just trademarked black car. What? No, get out of here. You can't do that. Okay. Round wheel. That's my word now. You can't use it. What? No, go away.
Deep
Space
space.
Marine.
Yeah, well, if you like technically,
I copyrighted deep space. You can't use that word anymore.
technically, I guess that would mean anybody can create a character called Black Panther.
Actually, it's not so far from the truth. You can
Yeah.
use the word as long as you're not copying Marvel. Like, let's say your Black Panther was actually a description of an underwater submarine program that Canada had to ward off Russian attacks. The Black Panther was, you could use that and they can't stop you.
Yeah, well, you could even create your own version of a character called Black Panther. It just can look or function anything like
It has to look way different than
Right.
what
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you keep it enough generically and different enough, yeah, no problem. But they will go after you more for that than they would if Tom Cruise put out, the Canadian sub Black Panther. The story of the Canadian Black Panther sub. They're not going to go after that like they would Rick, who came out with a Black Panther who he doesn't look like Marvel or even act like Marvel, but damn, it's in a comic book. You gotta look out, Rick.
Well, I mean, like, what if he was like some kind of martial artist from the Dark Continent? And his name was Black Panther. And he was entering a
if I
fighting
made mine
tournament.
from
Like the continent of
Canada,
Lalanda.
or whatever.
Have them come from Lalanda.
The continent Atlanta.
Yeah, from the north equator.
The North Equator, the North
Yeah.
Equator.
Yeah. Let's get creative here. We'll just mix it up.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, you guys are falling asleep over here.
Malt liquor and chicken.
I don't want to hear about you falling asleep. We don't want to hear about you falling asleep. She was yawning
No,
and talking.
she's speaking in Yanese.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was terrible. By the way, did you even say hi? Did you even say hi to Outcast? He's pretending to be a plumber. That was like
Yeah,
an hour.
we read that 10 minutes before you said something, or 20 minutes.
Yeah, we were way ahead of you. You're like, evening, everyone, listening to the show. Oh, that's him. You were like, where's yours?
Oh, he must be fixing something.
Yeah, probably a toilet.
Oh no, I was looking to say goodbye to the Tank like 20 minutes
Hank
after he left.
Yeah, I saw that.
Actually, it was
I
8
didn't
minutes. I'm
realize-
teasing you, but
It was 8 minutes. You did not. It wasn't 8 minutes. How do you even know?
there's timestamps on it. By the way, that was exciting. I haven't seen Tank in a while. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, he did a broadcast the last couple nights. I was on it Tuesday night. Or no?
Is he back in action? Back in the swing?
It looks like it.
Yeah, right. Back into game. He's got a really marketable name, Tank Parrot.
Yeah. Well, that's not his real name.
Oh no, it is. No.
I know his real name.
No, you don't understand. He was born of God, I can't think of any good names to use. Never mind, I blew it. Because I was thinking like there's gotta be names like
he was born Needle Bailey.
Yes, but you really I'm friends with him on Facebook.
He was born to Maple and Paul.
I just call him by his name all the time. He doesn't care if you say his name.
You mean the fake name that he says is his real name, so no one really calls him Tank anymore? Yeah, I get it. I know these conspiracies.
So you tried to go on about Tank's real name when I know Tank's real name.
I still like his name though. Tank Parrot's a cool name.
Yeah, it's just like trying to believe that my real name is Cross Comics.
Well, I don't like admitting this, but most people have figured out that Christopher Tamulevich isn't my real name either. That's just a really cool sounding name, and I decided, Tamulevich is so easy to spell. We're just gonna go with that.
The artist formerly known as.
Yeah, my name used to be Chris Smith, but I made it something more publicly accessible.
You like my wave?
Wasn't sure what it stood for. I was I was hoping you were just looping, like your video was looping. I'm like,
here. This is a family show.
ah. So guys, we're pushing an hour 38.
Yeah.
You mean more like an hour 15 because you don't.
No, I'm looking at it. Remember, mine started with the pre-show, so mine is like.
That's what he was gonna say.
Yeah,
I don't count the pre-show.
Me neither.
No, it just means I've been on for about an hour. With the pre-show, an hour 8, because the pre-show is 30 minutes.
Oh my
and we need
goodness.
more material, guys.
Sorry, guys.
So, oh, by the way, I forgot something, guys.
What?
I forgot something.
What'd you forget?
Got to show you guys something, man. Before I go to bed, because I know Diana wants me to share this.
What did I want?
Is it a picture of cute kittens?
Yeah, better
It's
not.
better. Okay, hang on.
What am I hanging on to?
Oh yeah.
Under the Ring. Dun 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 dun.
What is that? Oh yeah.
Yeah, he puts out he is his own publishing house. He puts it together himself. It's cut, stapled.
Yeah,
he was getting shit from his one guy, but I mean, like, yeah, say what you will about his artwork. I think his artwork is great because it kind of reminds me of that really strange artwork you'd see in like you ever pick up like The Stranger in Seattle that has like all the bands listed where they're playing. And they always have these strange little comics in the back.
Yeah, no, I can see that. That's really a good good analysis.
It's very underground.
Very underground.
By Atomic
And
Comics.
very naughty. Very naughty.
Say 18 plus right there.
Yep.
And I won't show you the inside of the book because it's hard to flip it without getting to something that would be considered inappropriate.
Yeah.
It's in the category of the buckler in terms of that, that last issue that
yes,
I got.
but it's
Yep.
just
I said it's definitely not for the comic book kids.
The comics it's over the top, either gory.
Oh, Canadian Tussle, Buckler.
Right. Not that the art's on the same level, but it's in that same vein of content. So yeah, if you're under 18, I would definitely recommend waiting to buy this until you're 18.
Under the Ring for you.
Right. But if you're an adult, you like indie comics, like Tim was saying, it is that kind of underground feel to it. It has that sense to it.
Under the Sea might be for you, but not Under the Ring.
And really, the way we feel about Disney, you just hold up on that Under the Sea stuff.
Well, that's how you get all the crabs.
Oh, boo! Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, and if you do get it and you're a kid, make sure you hide it from your parents because they're gonna take it away from you and throw it away.
Yeah, they would. It's that. It's not going to be carried at your local library. But when you get a little older,
or your local youth group.
Well, it depends on the church you go to. Actually,
no, I definitely 9 out of 10. I definitely think it won't.
I don't know, man. And in some of these blue states,
times
some of these blue states are kind of they go a little bit weird sometimes. Some of these states. I'm not saying they're wrong because I'm not judging nobody, but sometimes I hear a gospel that I don't recognize. And I just figure it's because I'm uneducated and I don't know big words like that. So I say, Lord, take care of it, and I'll see you later. I'm going down to the convenience store and getting me an ice cream bar.
Dad, you guys can keep chatting and being silly, but I'm tired.
This is very serious stuff, babe.
No,
you're going to abandon us in this intellectual situation.
Yep, I am.
Help sweep the state queen.
But you didn't even tell us what you thought of it.
What?
Oh my gosh! What do you mean? What, you weren't paying attention?
His book?
No, the subject we were just talking about.
The book?
No, electric engines versus hydro.
I'm not paying attention. I just said that.
Well, Diana's beginning to wrap up, so that's Chris's cue to wrap it up.
No,
Almost.
Chris can
Well,
stay
all
on
of us.
for another
All of
5
you, from all of
hours.
us.
I'm going to
Good
bed.
night.
Hey, watch this, guys, right? Yeah, that's what it's like to have the power. I just removed her. And she doesn't know it yet. She's probably there yelling at me. Hang on.
Did you boot me? You booted me. Did
You knew what it was all about, didn't you?
you? Did yeah. Time to boot. All right. Well, I'm going to bed here. Have a
Okay.
wonderful evening.
Hey,
Stay
Diana.
safe in the snow.
Diana. I love you.
I love you.
I'll see you in a few minutes. You're gonna come upstairs and go to bed.
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
He loves you,
Good night,
but
Miss
you
Diana.
need to boot something out.
She's gone. She doesn't know it yet. I'm gonna move her out of the backstage too. Oh no, I don't think I can without banning her. I don't want to ban her. I'll just
Yeah,
let
you don't
her.
want to ban your wife. That would not be good.
No, that one might get
You
me in a
would
little
get
trouble.
banned.
Yeah, that might doom me. Oh man.
Yep.
I don't know. I am
Good,
kind of
Diana.
excited though. A day off tomorrow means I can probably get through another 2 pages, which is going to be really cool because I went on a writing streak and now I'm like 15 pages behind on finished art. You know, I got to finish it up.
Oh, I'm like that with several scripts. So there'll be scripts that I'll like finish up and I've been kind of working on for a year or two.
Yeah, well, I hate. No offense to writers, but scripts are a lot easier to write than.
Little man, you're messing with forces you do not under comprehend.
Hey, I've written scripts too for my company, so
I know. I'm giving you shit.
Really, scripting, I think a lot of it is just trying to distinguish the different characters in dialogue, you know, like, and not trying too hard, but trying hard enough. Because, like, it's easy to make them sound different, but if you go too extreme, then it just sometimes it's too harsh. Like, why would you have that guy with that guy? It doesn't fit at all.
Yeah. Well, I've been paying attention to Reenie's little shorts she puts out. See, that's the way to get to actually get some food for thought instead of saying, well, this is what you're doing wrong or everything you're doing is wrong. She just says, this is what I do.
Well, the problem, you know, and I guess one of the bigger issues is like the whole, you know, CG versus Rippaverse thing right now. But I mean, honestly, I haven't been paying much attention at all. And it's so much nicer in life. There's so much crap going on with Trump. They're like, who has time for freaking EBS, man? You know,
I don't know. I've been paying attention to Eric though. He is totally winning.
Is he really?
Yeah. Have you seen that MegaCon?
No.
Lying around the block kind of shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know, Dillard and Yellow Flash are going to be printing and doing distribution through
Ripperson.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if that's a good or better idea, but the publicity alone got to make it good because as much as EBS can still sell a book, he's definitely lower than he used to be.
Well, because he keeps playing stupid games.
Yeah,
he's got what two or three books right now that people are waiting to get.
Well, and actually, because of our conversation last week, I've thought about it and I've become a little more bold. And I don't think that he's really all that great of an artist now. He's good. He's professional. I get it. He can rise to that level. But like, I would never put him in the categories with the legends. And honestly,
I think he's washed up.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. I think his time is come and gone. I mean, he can still do his stuff, but he's never going to be the cutting edge of comics again.
Yeah. Well, is he? He's definitely not one of the legends because they forge. Can anybody actually become a legend nowadays? That is a question.
I think they can, but it's going to be. It won't be the same way.
You have to do
the current legends.
You have to do, I think, a hell of a lot more than the legends did before, and that's not diminishing anything that they've done. It's just, you know.
I'm going to say something a little bold-faced and kind of probably wrong, but I think we're just waiting on the right guy to stand up with enough personality in his art to claim it again. A lot of stuff has gotten so photorealistic that it's boring, or it's gotten so sloppy that it's boring. And like there's a middle ground where style exists, but I don't know that we have that superstar in the wings yet, or if he's there, we haven't seen it yet.
I
But like
think it's because none of the characters we have are iconic yet because people don't know them yet.
yeah, like there's been no turtles for a long time. There's no Eastman and Lard in the range that I'm aware of, where I'm like, yo, I love making my books, but listen, man, there's this guy called the Cell Phone, and he's the freaking best hero since, like, you know what I mean? We don't have anything like that right now.
I pointed this out before.
It's hard to get an icon. Sorry, Tim, what were you saying?
I said, it's sad that two college kids from 1984 can out content everybody today. They had like a comic book company for like almost 3 years before they got the cartoon idea got started, or the toy idea or whatever.
Yeah, well, the cartoon got the idea, which got them the toys, but it's just that it's hard to. I think there's lots of great characters out of there, but becoming iconic, I think, is the hard part for any character. Becoming that mainstream of thing. You do need a movie or a cartoon, I think, to help you along. Somebody to come along and say, "Hey, this looks good, and let's put it out there for kids or whatever."
Well, without a doubt, the Turtles did great in their black and white debut, but they didn't reach the heights they did just by those black and white comics. They had to have the other stuff. And once they got it, man, like I remember when Vanilla Ice did that little the turtle song there. And as geeky as it was, that was a huge sign that they had made it. They had stepped into mainstream that was now producing bubblegum candy shit for their movie, and it was working. They were selling it,
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, when they made the first Ninja Turtles issue, it was magazine sized, and they didn't think it would sell very well, so they just they put it out. They got in the shops, and I think one of them had technically moved out, and then he got a call from him saying it's selling, so they made profit, so he moved back. I think it was Peter Laird.
Yeah, but see, in doing it themselves and getting it in comic shops, they were able to get noticed, and then somebody came to them, "Hey, want to do a cartoon?" And then
technically it was a toy line first, and in order to support a toy line in the 80s, you needed a comic. You needed a cartoon. They already had a comic.
They made toys first. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. And Playmates was willing to roll with them, and they said, "Well, you already are a comic book. You need a cartoon to support it, and that's what sells the toys."
Well, I guess that's sort of like when Mattel did He-Man. They did the comic book that come with it, and then they got it made into.
The story behind that?
Yeah, pardon?
They originally were going to do a Conan toy line, and that fell through, so they just made up He-Man.
Yeah. Well, I forget. I think that could have been part of it, but I seen the documentary just from the Toys That Made Us, and they were saying how it all came about. So I forget what are you laughing at, Chris?
Because you kind of stopped. I'm like, okay, what did they say about how it all came about? I don't know. I'm like, I can't remember. I do remember they did some comic books to have a storyline to kind of push with the toys, and that's why they had to make the cartoons, because the comics weren't enough.
Yeah, well, they were in an interview, and then somebody said, "Well, for a couple bucks more, we can do an animation, a cartoon series,
Oh no, they said you need to have a cartoon to support to sell the toys. That's why they made out the cartoon for the Transformers, GI Joe, etc. etc.
Yeah, I know it was rare. Like there were Voltron toys, but they never got a big push nationally. So like it was rare to have a big cartoon that didn't have a huge toy line behind it, you know, from Ken or a Mattel or something. Play, what was the other one? Play, you just said it too. Play whatever. The company Play, they did some dolls.
Okay.
Action figures.
Okay, well, still, even get somebody approaching them and saying, "Hey, toy line," or you know, the toy line, or who approached who? Do you know Timothy for the turtles with the toy line? Did they approach the toy company, or did the toy company approach them?
I forgot how that worked. I just know that I think they were. I'm gonna have to look that up, but I think it was the
Yeah,
toy first, and they had to make a cartoon to support the toy.
yeah. So maybe they came out about the same time. You know, but maybe the toys came out a couple months ahead of the cartoon airing originally.
Well, yeah, yeah. I think that was probably suggested.
Yeah. So
I just know that cartoons in those in that era was basically just one big commercial, really.
yeah, and they
Hey
got
guys,
kids out of that.
I just got the look. I got to close down my studio because she's gonna sleep like next door.
Okay.
But listen, thanks for coming by. I love you guys. I'm gonna go to bed. You guys may not get the snow we're getting, but be safe if you do.
Well, I think I am. I think I'm getting it before you.
Yeah, you guys are
It's coming for you with a vengeance from us.
Trump and his tariffs. Look what he started. Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right, man. Listen, guys, check out the Canadian Shield, check out Melvin, check out the Great Cyclopean, and get ready for the Cardinal of Justice. We will be bumping that thing up next week. It's going to be, she's putting it on Kickstarter and Fund My Comic.
Cool. Oh,
That's
and just to remind people, tomorrow night, the Silhouette Game, 90s cartoons.
It's actually pretty good, guys. I keep coming in,
dominate.
watching it on my TV, so I don't get much of a chance to say anything, and I certainly don't play because I suck. But it's fun to watch.
What was that, Tim? Did you say
Another
something?
chance to dominate.
Yeah, you're one of the leaders, aren't you? Top
No.
5?
Yes, in my head.
I'm not sure where he is in it, but he's not
Last
in the
time I
top 3,
watched,
I can tell you that.
Last time I watched, it was top 5, I thought. All right, well, check it out tomorrow night and see where Tim is.
Yeah. 7 p.m. Eastern, my channel, Cut Comics.
All right,
Comics to Cross.
Amen. All right, guys, I'm going to bed. I'm not even going to do an outro. I'm just going to go. All right,
Good night.
God bless everybody. Outcast, you got to come in sometime. We'll talk to you later. God bless you. All right, here we go. End